So first of all, let's go through the settings and the different options that you have here. The settings are the place where you will be able to enter the information about your company and to set up a lot of things into your store. So let's check what is there. So the first thing you can do is you can put the address of your company. This is an important thing because legally it's important that your customers knows where your store is. So you need to put your address here first. Then here you can put your site title, so the title of your online store. It is important because the title will be displayed here, you see, in the browser of your visitor. So it's important that you put something nice like the name of your brand or your company, for example. Then below that, you can put your tagline that is also displayed directly here in the browser of your visitors. Okay? Then here you should put your email address. I will show you later into the video how to create a professional email address for free using Dart.h, but for now you can put like Gmail or anything you want. Then here you can change your website language if you want. Here you can decide if you want to sell to all countries, if you want to ship to all countries. Then here we have option for the tax, which we'll cover later in the video. Here you can also enable or disable coupons on your store. Same, we're gonna cover that a bit later in the video. This option is quite important because it will activate or deactivate the indexing of your store on Google and other search engines. So basically, if you don't want your store to appear on search engines, you can just put deactivate here and then it just won't show up in the search engines. So chances are that you want your store to appear when people look for you, so you should probably leave it on activate. Then here you can change the currency of your store if you want to sell in euro, if you want to sell in dollar or any other currency, you can just change it here. Here you can, that depending on the currency that you use, sometimes you want to put it on the right, on the left. So this is here, you can change that here. And then don't forget to save your changes when you're done. Then once this is done, there is other tabs and I will show you that now. First one is the product tab. The first option here is the option for your shop page. So basically the page that you will use to list all the products that people can buy on your store. So for now, you can just leave your home page. That's okay. It doesn't really matter much. So that's fine. You can leave your home page. Then the next option is what do you want to happen when people add a product to their cart on your store. So the first thing you can do is you can redirect them to the cart page if you want. So as soon as they add the product to cart, then they will go to the cart page or not. You can just leave them on the product page, for example, and then it's fine. The other thing that you can do, the AJAX add to cart button, mean that when they add a product to their cart, the page is not going to reload. They will just see like a nice banner saying, hey, this product has been added to your cart, but the page is not going to reload. So this is cool. You can just leave it like this. Then here you can change the measurements based on what you use and what your user use as well. And then here you can enable product reviews, which is something we're gonna cover as well later into the video. Then you get the inventory tab here. So it's if you want to enable stock management on your store. So if you don't want to manage the stock on your store, you can just disable that. But if you want to, then you have the option to hold the stocks for 60 minutes, for example, more or less. You can just change it here. Then you can send notification to yourself. So for example, when your stock is low or when the product is out of stock, you can just put your email address here. And then it will send you an automatic email saying, hey, this product is out of stock or is low in stock. And so you might want to do something, right? And then you can automatically hide the product in case it's out of stock. And here you can decide what you want to display on your shop regarding stock. So you can always show the stock or only when it's low or just never show that. So it's actually cool because it can create some sort of scarcity. If you don't have a lot of item for one product, if you show that there is a low quantity, it can force people to say like, oh, I want to buy now before it's too late and there is no more. Okay, so this is really cool. And then for the advanced tab, you can just leave it like this. There is no like real option that you absolutely need when you start. Then the next thing that we want to see is the shipping options. Here into the shipping tab, we're gonna be able to set up all the shipping options that we want to enable on our store. And also we will be able to set up pricing for each shipping options. Free shipping, $3, $10 shipping, it's really up to you. And everything will be set up here, and we're gonna cover that later in the video in the part only about shipping. So here the payment tab is where you will be able to set up the payment method on your store. So you can accept credit card, PayPal, cash on delivery, and multiple payment options, and all the setup is done here. So again, later in the video, I will show you all of that, and we will also set up Stripe to accept credit card and PayPal together on your store. Then the next tab that we have is the account and privacy tab. Here you will be able to manage the account of your store, decide if you want to create an account for your customer on your store, and also like manage these different accounts. So we will do a dedicated video just on that later. Then we get the email tab. You will find the emails that are sent either to you or to your customer by your store. So for example, there is emails when you have a new order that you send to yourself or to your customer as well. For now, in the initial setup, what you want to do is just to change the information here at the bottom of the page. You want to put your company name in the from name, and you want to put your company email address in the from address. Also, you can change your colors here at the bottom and then save your changes, and you're good. Then we can go to the integration tab. So this integration tab is only if you want to integrate Maxmind geolocation. So chances are that you don't need it, at least for now. So you can just skip it for now. And then we have the advanced tab. So here there is very little chance that you want to change something, so you can just leave it by default like that. I'm just showing you that in case you have a specific question, the customer support tell you, hey, it's in the advanced tab, so just know that it's here. You might need the API, like if you want to connect an external software, like an emailing software, for example, they use the API, so they are there. But if you want to connect something through the API, the documentation will be very well explained, and you will get all the information that you need. So for now, you can just leave it like this, and yeah, again, very little chance that you want to change something in the advanced tab. Then we have the appearance tab. This is where you will set up a few basic settings for the appearance of your store. So in case you don't have all of the information required right now, that's okay. I will just show you how it works, and you can come back here later when you have the proper information. So the first thing that you want to do is to change the main color of your store. So this is a color that will be used at a few different locations on your store. For example, we have it here in the menu, we have it on the cart page, the checkout page as well. So we want to change it. So for my store that I'm building right now, the main color is red. So I will put it. And here what you want to enter is the hexadecimal version of your color. Then you can set up the default text size, title font, text font. So you can just leave it like this by default. It's okay. When we will do the design of the store, I will show you how you can independently for each text and each title change the font and the size. So you don't really need to change it here. So this is more like a global setting that you can apply to all your store if you want, if you need to. But if you don't, just leave it by default, that's okay. Then we have different menu style. So we have default, centered inline logo, sliding, and full screen. So default is this one with the logo on the left and the menu on the right. If we want to do centered, for example, I will refresh the page. Then we can see that now we have our main color and our logo is in the center. Then if we do inline logo, we have our logo in the middle. Then slide in. It's a menu that opens like that on the side. That's pretty cool. And full screen. Open the menu like this. Okay, so this is the default option for the menu that you can find here in appearance. Then again, when we're going to talk about the design of your store, we will be able to create absolutely any design that we want for the header, for the menu here on top of our store. And I will show you that later in this course into the design section. But here, that's a few default settings that are very quick to implement if you want to use them. Then below that, you want to put your website logo and your favicon. So the logo is what is displayed here, for example, on the top left. And the favicon is the little image here, the little logo here in the browser when we go to your store. Okay, so you want to put your logo in both of these locations. So I'll put my logo, upload file, then select, and then you do the same for favicon. Then you save, and we reload the page. And now we have our logo here and here as well in the browser. So we're good. Then here you can set up the product image dimension and the product thumbnail width. So the product image dimension is in your product page that we will set up later. The product image will have a size by default, and this is the size that you can change here if you want. You can leave it by default, that's completely okay, but if you want to change it, this is here. And same for the product thumbnail. This is going to be displayed on your shop page or your category page that showcase like multiple products. Then you have a few other settings. So for example, you can hide over shipping options when free shipping is available. This is cool because if your customer has free shipping, there is not really a point to display the paid shipping options. So you can just hide them by ticking these boxes. Then if you have variable products on your store, which I will show you later how to create them, you can change the way the price is displayed by using the from form, which means, for example, if you have a product where the price range from $50 to $100, then the price will be displayed from $50 on your store. So this is pretty cool. Then you have an option to redirect directly to your checkout when your customers click on the add to cart button. So this is cool if you don't have a lot of product. Like for example, if you just have one product on your store, then when people add to cart, they don't really need to go to the cart because there's just one product to buy. So then you can direct them directly to the checkout, which makes the process so much faster and so much easier. Then you can hide the notice that says, hey, this product has been added to cart. This is here. Then this option here will enable the add to cart button on the shop page. So on your pages where you will display multiple products like the shop page, the category pages, and you can do that on your home page as well if you want. You can also add a little add to cart button to each of the little products. So again, it makes them easier to add to the carts. So it makes buying on your store much easier. Then if you want to disable the footer section site made by Dr. Tech, which is here, you can just tick these spots here. And then if you want to keep it, but you just want to change your colors to match your theme, then you can just choose the color here directly as well. And then in the last portion, you can add custom CSS. So in case you want to go even further in terms of customization of your store and you want to add custom CSS, this is here. Then once you're done, don't forget to save your changes. And then we can go to the performance tab. So here, most likely you really don't want to change anything, just leave it like this. We have done all the performance optimization for you at Dr. Tech, so you don't need to worry too much about what is there. We just leave this option here because sometimes you would like to refresh your cache if your page doesn't display the proper way, and some of these options might be useful sometime, but you don't really need to worry too much about that. If you want to do something, just write to us on the customer support and we will tell you exactly what you have to do. So this is more for us helping you easily, more than you going to try everything and see like what works best for you. Like don't worry, we do that for you. Just write to us if you have any questions and we will tell you exactly what to do into the performance tab. So that's it for the settings of your store. So now let's keep going to the next section.